was gonna do it at night of every night, but yesterday I was like exhausted at the end of the evening. So this morning I'm doing it for yesterday because I found that when I do it in the morning for each day, there's so much that unfolds for the rest of the day. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna do it at night, and this morning I'm doing it the next morning. So day 13 went pretty stinking well. I find that I have been less focused on like food aspect of things and more focused on like relationship, and that's kind of come up just kind of I was triggered the other day with relationship, just anything around intimacy or relationship, or even just the thought, like even like the idea of going on a date. I had no idea I had so much just waiting to bubble up and show me all of its dysregulation, but it was waiting there for me, and that's what I experienced this weekend. And so that's been kind of like the majority of my focus this weekend, which has been painfully like a little painful in a way, where it's just like seeing all these really unhealthy thought patterns and like kind of destructive in a way, and not knowing what to do about it sometimes, you know, like when we have thoughts that just kind of feel like they take over in our minds, in our body, and then create like physiological effects in our bodies. It's been really an interesting experience because this is a really big topic for me as well, is like my relationship to myself. This is awful. Okay, I'm gonna fix it when I get to work, but my relationship to myself when I'm in relationship with other, and then also my relationship with the other, and like what are my beliefs, what's my programming kind of around within that realm, what are my thoughts, like what am I manifesting. And I think it's really interesting to think about this concept of manifestation, and it's like, yeah, but am I getting actually what I was asking for? And then like reevaluating what have I actually been asking for? Do I have these beliefs that are of like unworthiness and all this other stuff, and then what's showing up in your reality, like what are you getting, you know? Obviously there's a mismatch between like what you think you're asking for and what you're actually getting, and so I think that's really funny, but I recognize that there is a link between this and my body image, and I feel like some of the weight that I carry. And one of the things that had come up for me is like obviously the topic of shame, right, that I've talked about in my previous videos. So much shame, so much guilt, so much blame has come up, like blaming my parents and like my upbringing, and like attaching myself and holding on to this story that I'm unworthy because, you know, of all these other things. And it took me so long to like really embody. It was always like a logical thought of like, yeah, my parents were human and they fucked up just like we all fuck up, you know? They didn't do it on purpose, and like, but to embody it, I feel like I I allowed myself to yesterday. And it was a conversation that I had with one of my friends. And I was talking, and I was just like talking about what was coming up for me and this experience that I had. And he was like it was totally unrelated. And all he said was, you need to forgive your parents. And you need to embrace them. And one thing that I learned was like this whole time of blaming, you know, whether it be like trying to figure it out and being like, oh, it's from this time, I know that's where it's from, and I just gotta like do the work to overcome it. There's an element of like frustration and anger and resentment and blame, because it's like, you did this to me and now I gotta fix it. And in that moment, it all just kind of came full circle, because I was like, you know, every time I think that I'm forgiving, I'm not. Like, obviously, there's still some more in there, like, and it comes up in these, like, mundane times, you know? But one thing I did, super simple, I was just like, I was thinking about this topic that was creating this dysregulation inside of my body. And because it was kind of like an obsessive thought, like it was on repeat, and I was like, I gotta figure this out so that way it doesn't happen again, you know, like, and it's kind of that, like, I need to do it now because it feels really shitty in my body. And in that moment when it came up, like, all I said was, Mom and Dad, I forgive you, and I embrace you, and I bring you closer. And in that moment, what happened was, like, I seen that experience happen on a screen. Like, we were watching a movie, and I had my mom and my dad right next to me, and we were, like, laughing at how stupid I looked. Like, in the middle of my whole dysregulation thing that happened this weekend, and it was like, we were laughing about it. And I was like, that is so freeing inside, to allow myself to, in those moments where I feel like I just want to blame, instead bring them closer. Like, I forgive you. We're all human, right? Like, looking at them as a human, and also looking at me as a human, like, wow, I looked really stupid right there, you know? Or like, or even like, who cares if you trip over your words, or like, what's your intention, you know? Like, not taking things so serious. So I really am so excited, though this has nothing to do with like, well, I think it has everything to do with like my own personal journey of like weight loss and body image and all of that stuff. Like, for me, this is so much weight that I've been carrying my whole life that I feel like it's just totally being released, and it's coming into my awareness to be looked at and released. So still on my journey, 12 to 8, lots and lots of water, losing a half a pound of just crazy gunk, nastiness that's stuck in my body. We're getting rid of it for good. Like, I am allowing it to do its thing. And day 13 was a success, and I can't wait to experience what this day has ahead of me. So, love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.